Hi, Caroline Kearney here at Powell Arts with the terrific Cassandra Jennings Hall. And we are going to talk about her piece, which will be in our Portray It show, which is from January 19th through March 12th. Cassandra, do you mind introducing us to your piece?
This is called Say Their Names. And I did it during the COVID epidemic that we had starting in 2019. And when all of the marches started and people started, the George Floyd incident, and the nurses were being celebrated, and all of the people that kept us going during this whole terrible process, I started painting this. I had wanted, this is actually my brother and his son. I had actually wanted to do it for years and just didn't have the reason to do it, or the energy, or the mojo,
it wasn't ready yet.
Yeah. So I, when this happened, I wanted to do something that represented all of the people. You know, the people that kept us going, the people in the grocery stores, the nurses, the truck drivers, the police, the firemen, all of those people who had to go to work to keep the society going while we were sitting at home being safe. And this painting, Say Their Names, there's a little bit of prose that goes with it, which I don't have with me today, but that says, you know, say their names, all of these different people that supported this country when the rest of us couldn't.
Right.
I believe that's in your artist statement.
Yes.
Yeah. So you should. This video will be up with your artist statement. So you should definitely read that because it is very moving.
Yes.
Well, not only that. I mean, people think, you know, let's think of it as the heroes, and yet the heroes are the same people who are out on that street every day delivering your packages. Going and putting stuff on the grocery store, you know, in the grocery store, as well as the doctors, the nurses, the technicians, all the things that you've said.
If anything,
they're the people you meet every day.
We became more
conscious of the fact that we are dependent on all of these people.
Yeah.
That if the guy wasn't stacking the toilet paper or delivering the toilet paper, or making it, we would not have any toilet paper.
Yeah.
You know, we all went through that, grabbing toilet paper.
Well, and there's a reason why support for unions is rising every day now.
Absolutely.
Because I think we realized how dependent we are on these people who do what we would consider mundane, everyday tasks.
And they need to be paid more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, at least a livable wage.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, because they are essential.
Right. They're essential. Yes, they are essential to us and to this economy and to this society.
And
this is what this is saying.
Yes. And more than that, you also have a child there stepping forward. And did you think in terms of children being our future?
No, I didn't really go that far.
Okay.
I just thought of the same of them, and they're Black, and you know,
which most essential workers are.
Yeah, and you know, with George Floyd and all that going on.
Yeah.
And I just put him in there because I wanted to do him in a long time. So anyway.
I love how you placed the father's hands on the son's shoulders.
Yeah, they're both protective and nurturing at the same time, which is
and the biggest thing in there, which is what they should be.
Yeah.
Well, and also like there's this thing about capturing something like that where it's a very nuanced stance that we all have seen in parent-child, like in real life. But when you go and portray it flat, you need to give it dimension. It can turn out lots of different ways, but this is such a beautiful focal point, and it frames his face and frames them in a nice, beautiful circle.
Yeah.
So.
And the thing about this, the flag that's behind it, that flag, when I guess it's the first civil rights movement in my lifetime, which was in the 60s and 70s, we used to wear these buttons that were black, red, and green,
Yeah.
right? The black is my skin, the red is my blood, and the green is the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to put the flag in, but I didn't want to use those colors.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw new flags, people walking around with new flags with this more muted color, not so primary.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know
They're
why.
just off the primaries.
Yeah. So I was delighted to see that, and I put that flag in.
Well, and it ties in really well to the way that even their clothing is just off these colors.
Right, because those are the colors those clothes, I mean, I only used about 3 or 4 colors
Yeah.
in this.
And yet it has such beautiful depth to it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the work that we've shown of yours in the past is much more abstracted, and you do a lot of work on paper. And so this is, I mean, you do work on canvas too, but this is kind of a new foray for us with your work.
This is the only one I've ever done.
Really?
Since, you know, in high school and in college, you know, you did some things, you know, but this is the only representation.
How did you like doing it?
It was good. I mean,
Let me just say this. Your voice just went.
I know.
She was like, I'm not sorry I didn't, but I'm not eager to revisit.
I don't think I would be doing that again. It's very confining, you know, because you have to do certain things. You just can't make a mark and keep going.
Well,
Right.
yeah,
You know?
we were talking about that. Like, it's interesting because we tend to cycle through like certain topics, like within the videos, that it must be something to do with the theme and the way that artists are approaching the work that they put into it. But we've been talking a lot about how artists have this. There's always an intuitive approach as well, like, but every artist has a different way of mark making and a comfort in following that intuition and that plan. And I think that that's one of the things that kind of separates out the medium. Like earlier, we were talking to an artist who only paints on wood because she doesn't like the bouncy quality of canvas. And so it's funny how like artists always like stretch themselves. But then it almost affirms like, no, I feel like the direction I'm in is the right one.
Yeah. This was very confining. I couldn't use my regular brushes. I had to get these teeny brushes to do certain things.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm kind of not used to that, but I got it done.
I was going to ask about you went over the colors of the flag. But there's also a matter of, and I found this out doing a series called American Prayer Flags, that there's this way of looking at the American flag where it's right side up, and then other ways it's upside down. And with each of the directions that the field where you have, it's black with the white dots, which I take it to be where the stars would be.
Yeah.
Wherever that's located tells you what direction the flag is in. So for this one, you actually have it in down, which usually signifies danger. So did you do that on purpose?
I put the flag on purpose, but I didn't know anything about.
And it's sometimes like if it's upside down and the field is on the bottom, apparently it indicates distress.
Yeah,
like, which
is perfect.
Which is symbolically very interesting.
There was a lot of distress going on when I was
100%.
this painting.
Yeah,
you know?
And if you don't think that it was distressing.
Yeah, it was. And then I put a quote from...
I was going to say that.
Obama, around the edges. It's written on the back, and I can't quote it. But when I read it, I said, this is how the soul of Black people, this is how Black people feel in this country. And I remember when I was a kid, my parents were always, this was in the 50s, and I lived in Orangeburg, South Carolina, in segregated town. But there was always this wariness that my parents had. And when I read that in Obama's book, I was like, oh, now I understand.
Oh, he's so good at putting it into...
he put it just right.
Yeah.
And I had to put it around the painting, but I covered it, so it couldn't be. You know?
I'm like trying to go in.
Yeah,
Like,
it's written on the back,
so,
but it's written around the
and we'll
side.
include it in the description. For this
Okay,
piece.
yeah,
So,
okay, great.
But racial minorities have been marginalized in this country the whole time, and it's not just that people were like, "Well, make your own way." It's that we've systemically like disadvantaged things, and
Yes.
hopefully people will see that. And I think that what's beautiful about this piece is that you're focusing it on a strong, two strong central figures in a position that people will resonate with people because it's a very paternal child view, and hopefully that will open their mind to think about these things.
I hope so.
Because it's such a beautiful glimpse of humanity.
I hope so.
So it deserves to be something we reflect on a little with a little more introspection.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, I will 100% agree. And I like the idea. You could have done maybe one of your other relatives and a child, but you chose to show two strong men. And as you were talking, I kept on thinking about the talk.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have
I
a
have the
talk.
privilege of never having to have that talk.
Yeah, people that aren't in this community, my community, don't understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure gay people understand it.
Yeah.
And other ethnic groups may understand it.
Yeah.
But people outside, I guess what I'm really saying is white folks don't really get it.
No, they don't.
You know, because they're not exposed to it.
Well, and it's just like when people tell you their story, believe them.
I know.
And listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't tell them how to tell their story.
Yeah.
I've had somebody do that too.
And it's not
to me, but to somebody else.
But I also think that like it's not like if you are uncomfortable with a piece like this, that is not
my problem.
Our problem.
Yeah.
Like because it is not the job of the people of the storytellers to make you feel comfortable.
Right.
It's about them communicating their truth.
Right. Absolutely.
And you did it in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
You really have.
So we hope that you will come see Cassandra's beautiful piece, thoughtful piece at Powell Arts during our Portray It show from now through March 12th.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.